But how Chinese are you? And how Western are you? When you go into someone's house, what's the first thing that you do?
In the morning and at night is the best.
And he was in front of me and he opened the door and he saw me in the reflection and closely behind him. So Kev, you were born here, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yes, I was born here. But how Chinese are you? And how Western are you?
As an answer, I would say I was culturally 60-40. I would say 60% English or Western, 40% Asian.
Yeah, I think I would be around that. Let's put it to the test, Kev.
Let's do it.
You say that you're 60% Western.
Yes.
And 40% Chinese. Yeah. But let's ask you a quick question. When you go into someone's house, what's the first thing that you do when you go to someone's house? It doesn't have to be a Chinese person's house. It could be an English person's house, whoever.
This is the non-negotiable. And I think there's a reason why you asked this, because of the answer. And it's take off them damn shoes.
But are you taking off the shoes? And I know what my answer is, but are you taking off the shoes because it's customary for Chinese people to take off the shoes at the entrance when you go into somebody's house, when you go into your house? Or are you taking off the shoes for a more practical reason?
There's definitely a practical reason. Outside, germs, dog shit, whatever. Like you're dragging that stuff into the house and you don't want to drag it around the house. So you just leave it in one area. And that's the easiest area to leave it. The most hygienic area to leave it. Well, the most hygienic would be outside the house, right? But that's not very practical. In the hallway of the house or as close to the door as possible.
But I don't get it, right? For those people, and don't judge me, but I am judging other people, to be fair. So it's fine. I am totally judging other people. If you were to bring your shoes into the house, to the living room, I've seen people go to the bedroom.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, it happens all the time. Yeah.
But I don't understand the practicality of it. You've been outside all day. You've trodden all sorts of dirty shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And you're treading that stuff. But one thing I don't get is their houses are also so clean.
Yeah, no, this is another thing, right? So basically, they are trudging that stuff all over, but the carpet is cleaner than my carpet.
How is that possible?
Yeah, how is it possible? So either they're cleaning their carpet every few days, which it has to be, or something else is going on. I don't know. It's some kind of magic. It's some kind of Western magic that we have no clue.
Where do you put your shoes?
This is a point of contention in our house because it's supposed to be in multiple areas. Like we've got a shelf for it. We've got under the stairs cupboard where you're supposed to put the shoes. Lots of different areas you can put shoes, maybe 3 or 4 different areas you can put shoes at the hallway. Invariably, what will happen is the kids will come in and take the shoes off and just leave them lying around. I do it as well, to be honest. At the door, I've got 3 of my pairs of shoes that are just lying around. Carmen's got maybe 2 or 3. The kids have got 2 or 3. So we end up with 10 pairs of shoes that could easily be put away. But by the end of the day, you've got football boots, you've got trainers, you've got Crocs, you've got whatever, just all strewn in the hallway. Don't know what your house is like. I've got a feeling your house is a bit more tidy than my hallway.
I don't know. We have the shoe issue, but my wife is pretty on it when too many shoes accumulate in the hallway. But we put our shoes. We have a understairs, same as you, where we put all our shoes, which I think generally acceptable because it's close enough to the doorway. What I don't get is when people store their shoes in their room, in their wardrobe. Some people's wardrobes are designed with the sort of shelves to put that, and they put their shoes in there. Do they wipe their shoes before they put in?
I doubt it. I highly doubt that happens. So yeah, it's straight in, like all that shit that's accumulated from the outdoors is straight into their wardrobe. That is sacrilege in our household. You just wouldn't do it.
I don't understand it. So for those people who, now the thing is though, you've seen the mansions in Beverly Hills and whatnot. Those people don't take off the shoes. They walk through the whole house with their shoes on.
Yeah. Definitely.
If you had a big house like that and you had a mansion, all sort of marble floors and carpets made from chinchilla fur or whatever, would you wear your shoes in the house?
No, I think it's ingrained in my DNA now that those shoes come off at the doorway, regardless of how big the house is. If I've got 50 cleaners mopping up every come after me, those shoes are still coming off at the doorway, regardless.
So it's not just, it's a practical and cultural thing, shoes thing. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I just don't get the shoes in the house thing. What about, here's another thing about the 60-40 Western Chinese thing.
Yeah.
When do you shower?
Oh, this is where I'm slightly torn because there's reasons for both. So you can shower at night and you can shower in the morning, right? And there's two very clear reasons for both. You've been in your bed all night. You know, it may be a hot night. You may have sweat or whatever. You probably drooled on your pillow some point during that night. You rolled over in your drool. There's a little bit of it in your hair.
You've done it on your wife's side. She's rolled all over your drool.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get up and you've got a bit of a cow's lick going on at the sides. That's the true sign that you haven't showered in the morning, is if you have a cow's lick and your hair's sticking up in a certain way, because that wouldn't happen if you showered in the morning. So yeah, there are reasons why you would shower in the morning, and that's one of them. You've been sweating at night, you've drooled on yourself, and you want to clean up before you leave the house. Equally, there's reasons to shower during the night as well, after you come in from a long day's work. You've been sweating outside and you come back in and you picked up all the dirt from outside. And then you're like, I'm going to have a shower before bed. So you definitely shower before bed because you don't want to drag all those germs from the outside into your bed either. So absolutely, there's two scenarios where both showering both in the morning.
What are you?
Night.
Yes, night. Yeah,
night. Yeah.
Yeah, we are a night as well in our house. And I think it's because you either see your bed as a clean or a not so much dirty or not clean place.
Yes.
So some people look at the bed and think, oh, it's just full of like dead skin and whatever, because I've just been in it, like gruesome stuff. Yeah. And so I want to, like you said, I've just been like drooling all over my wife's face. And you just want to shower it all off and then go to work, right? Or do whatever you want to do. But by the same token, you also don't want to go in bed with all the stuff that you've accumulated during the day.
Yeah, I agree. So I actually think showering both in the morning and at night is the best. I actually do. Like, I would do that. I don't do it, you know, on occasion I do, you know, I'm showering in the morning as well. But I think that is the best option to do both, because, and that is the Western and the Asian in me, both at conflict, because I do feel that they both have merit for being extra clean.
I've done it before where, in fact, no, not just before, every single time. If I've been out on a night out, even if I get back at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll still shower.
Oh, 100%.
I still shower. I can't sleep with the gunk in my hair, the smells of wherever I've been.
Yeah. We've got our mutual friend Ken. We were talking about this over the last weekend. That exactly that. We were like, it doesn't matter how fucked you are.
Do you do that as well?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like I could be paralytic. I may have puked on myself half an hour before. I may have been in an absolute state, but I know there's one rule ingrained in me, and that is get in that shower and clean yourself before you get into bed.
Are you sleep better?
Well, yeah, so much better. The room's still spinning. You may be feeling like you're in a bad place, but at least your hair's clean. At least your body's clean.
Yeah, that's just dirty to go in. That's just dirty to go to bed without showering.
Have you ever done that? And when you were younger, you may have invited friends round to stay or whatever, and they may have thought they're gonna sleep in your house. So they would be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go straight to bed." And you're like, "Mate, do you not want to shower before what? Shower before bed? Are you shower in the morning?"
Yeah, shower. I'm voting for shower at night.
Yeah, me too. That's
two down, man. That's two down. That's two down. We're not living up to that 60%. We're living more for the 40%. So far,
yeah.
We take our shoes off. That's definitely a Chinese Asian thing.
Absolutely.
Shower.
On that, when you've had workmen in, do you request that the workmen take off? Yeah. And that's a big point of contention because they don't like it. They don't like that, right? No. Because they've got these work boots and there's a lot of intricate tying to get these boots on in the morning because they are quite heavy duty boots. You ask them to take their boots off, mate, they are not happy about that. They're like, these boots took me 5 minutes to get on in the morning. Yeah. You're telling me to get my stinky feet out in your house. They're not a fan, are they?
No. We've not fired, but not used workmen again because of that reason. So we had our bathroom done at the beginning of this year, and this guy, oh my gosh, this guy was like a dream. He took his shoe. He wanted to come into my office here where the boiler is behind this cupboard here.
Yeah.
And so the hallway's fine. He can wear his shoes. And then when went up to the bathroom, so he was fit in the bathroom with no shoes.
Wow. That's
Right?
unheard of. That is
No shoes. And then he would come down, and if he went out to the skip, he'd put his shoes on, and he had to come to the boiler he said, "Oh, can I just do something with the boiler?" Took his shoes off to come into my office.
That is,
mate. He's getting all the jobs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. 5-star Yelp reviews. Everything.
Yeah. He's getting all the jobs. So far, it's not looking good, Kev. This Western thing is not playing out. What else you got?
Let's have a look. So, addressing parents. So, right, in Western culture, it's not unheard of to be, instead of calling your mum and dad, you call them by their first names. Barry, do you want a pint?
Oh, I see.
Maury, what do you want?
Right.
Yeah, that kind of things. I don't think I would ever,
Wouldn't dare.
even at 41, if I called my dad by his first name, that would be a swift clip round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If any of my kids called me Tez, I'd chuck them out.
That's it. Straight out, mate. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And we've recently moved from daddy to dad, and that's a big adjustment already.
Yeah, that is. I'm forbidding it for now, from daddy to dad. In front, like Natasha is at this stage where it's a little bit embarrassing in front of people to call daddy. Yeah. But at home, she still does that. But in front of people, I'll let it slide.
Yeah, it's the same for me. Same for us. Yeah, it's almost. I didn't even have to say it. It just sunk into their behavior. Where outside, dad became the norm, but indoors, daddy is still was.
I'll let it slide outside. Presumably, you don't call your mum and dad by first name.
No, it's still It
even sounds strange,
doesn't it? Yeah, like their English names are Sam and Pauline. So I'll be like, Pauline, get the kettle on. It's just not going to laugh.
That sounds odd, isn't it?
I know.
That sounds odd. So so Chinese people would use more. Mum. Yeah, exactly. My bad. But yeah, definitely. Like as far as it goes, it'd never be like a day a long time or anything like that.
No, exactly. Not that traditional. That's swaying towards 110 and minus 10 if you started talking like that.
Yeah, I've heard people call their mum and dad, as in Chinese people call their mum and dad. I've heard, and it sounds quite disrespectful.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, 100%. They must be BBCs, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
They're
BBC,
like the 90s. They're like the 90-10 or the hundreds.
Totally. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. What about like the way people live? What about the way people live in Hong Kong? It's like quite normal. Hong Kong, China, it's quite normal for children, grown out adult children, to live with their parents.
Yeah,
it's quite normal, right?
100%. Yeah, there's a 3-generation household, and that is very common in Hong Kong and China. Yeah, absolutely.
It is actually, 3 generations. Actually, you're right. Yeah. It is, but over here, it's not common.
No, I don't think so. I think that comes with the fact that people maybe have a bit more money, and the fact that the housing was more accessible. Certainly in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is still one of the most expensive property markets in the world, right? If not the most expensive.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I think it has got cheaper over the last few years, but it's still very expensive. So that plays into it a lot as well. And I feel like people, there's a concept of paying board over here, isn't it, as well? So if you get to 18 and you're of earning age, whether that's part-time work or full-time work, as soon as you get to 18, a lot of parents are asking their kids for board. And going, oh, you need to start paying your way in this house. And maybe it's a token 50 quid a week or 100 quid a week.
It's not actual rent.
No, but it's board. They call it board, don't they? Where they're paying their way in the house. So already they're thinking, if I'm paying you some of my salary, why don't I just move out and rent somewhere so I can have my freedom as well? And there is big differences of paying 100 quid over here versus £100
exactly.
rent. But you get the concept. They're already paying for something, so they think they might as well go and pay for it externally and live a free life.
Yeah. Do you feel that when you was growing up that you would ever live with your mum and dad? Or actually, no, I'll split that into two.
Yeah.
When you was growing up, did you feel that you wanted to move out and have your own sort of freedom? And two, was there an expectation from your mum and dad to do that, or vice versa?
This is a fantastic question. So I always imagined that I would move out, and it was always around about 2025 and I'd move out. But I also saw that in my 40s and 50s that I'd have my elderly parents living with me For some reason, that was on mine.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So I don't know why. So I was like, okay, the 20s to 40s, I'll be on my own, and they probably don't want to see half the debauched things that I'll get up to. But from 40 onwards, they might think, yeah, great, I don't mind living with them. So that was, and it's never cropped up again, even in our marriage where I've spoken to Carmen about, oh, would you ever consider living with my parents or your parents, or if they need that care, would we ever do that? That's never cropped up in conversation. But in my head, I don't mind it. I don't mind them living with me. And
that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
You're a good son.
Yeah,
You're a good son.
I think they've probably guilt tripped me and brainwashed me into having that thought. It's in there. It's in my mind.
Yeah, you're a good son. Yeah, same. I always thought about moving out, and that I would have my freedom. I never even thought about the fact that I would be still living with them as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
But the same thing is that we've had this conversation as well, Jan and I, in that when my parents are, because I'm an only child, when my parents are old enough that they need looking after, at one point they would probably move in with us.
Yeah,
or want to move in with us. Yeah.
What's Jan said? She's
okay. Yeah, I don't know if she's okay about it, but it's accepted that actually I'm an only child. I'm the only son. If I don't look after them, who's going to look after them?
I always think, what's the alternative? And, what is the alternative? It's care, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's accepted. It's accepted.
Yeah.
So I think on that point there, we are probably more Chinese.
Yeah. I think there's four very strong hints that we are, in our minds, we might be 60-40, but the way we behave on these macro points, we're definitely more Chinese. We're definitely more Asian.
Yeah. We're quite traditional. Do you think, okay, that's right. I'll tell you what, we'll tally it up at the end and see how we are. So far, shoes in the house, we are more Chinese.
Yeah. Shoes in the house, we have to take them off. Yeah.
Yeah. The
showering,
we are more Chinese.
Yeah. Shower at night, not in the morning.
Addressing our parents by their first names and not by mum and dad, we are more Chinese.
Yeah, we cannot do that. It has to be our mom.
So that's 3 out of 3 Chinese.
Yes.
Yeah. Living arrangements. Yeah. Which is, if you're Chinese, you live with your parents and as adults. And if you're more Western, you're more independent. We are more Western. So it's 1 versus 3. It's 1-3 at the moment.
Yeah. I would give the last one to being more Western because we do have one idea of move now. So let's go because we have to balance it out. So it's
exactly
1-3-1. 3-1.
3-1.
Asian side.
5. What else is on our list? Let's have a look.
So the next on the list is gift giving etiquette. Quite
explain
common.
This. Go on.
Yeah, there has to be a little bit of an explainer here. So you receive a gift. Actually, I'll do it this way. You receive a gift. What's your first instinct to do? Is it to hide it away and say thank you very much? Or is it to open it in front of the person giving you the gift to show your appreciation for that gift? What's your instinctual behavior?
No, I definitely wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't open it in front of them. I definitely want it in front of them. I would show enough appreciation of the gift.
Yes.
But I wouldn't be like ripping it open or anything like that. I'd put it to a side and say, hey, really appreciate your gift. Thank you very much. I might even make a point of it and say, you know what? I'll save that for a special time to open it.
Okay. See, now the Western side would say that was weird because you're supposed to open the gift and then say, oh my God, that's amazing. So you can share in the experience.
Is that right?
And so apparently, yes. No, I don't. I'm with you I subscribe to your school of thought where it's like you're supposed to take it home and then not be so. You could almost say in Asian culture, it's a little crass to open a present straight away, rip the wrapping off, look inside and say, this is great or not great, right? But I feel like in Western culture, certainly you're supposed to open it and then, so you can both share in the experience of them saying,
I see. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I got it. Almost kind of showing appreciation by opening it up and sharing the gift with the group or whoever it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
that's interesting.
So we're definitely more, let's go 4-2, the 4-1 at the moment.
What are you then? What are you put it to a side?
I've done both. I have done both depending on the situation, but my instinct says hide it away. My instinct says take it home and wait to open it.
Yeah, same here as well. Same here. Because what if it's a really shit present?
I mean, that's when you've got to fake. That's when people do
That's
fake
the
it
worst.
instead.
That's
Yeah.
the worst. Oh, he's wanted this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, are you a faker? Are you? So, do you feel obliged to fake? Now, you come across as a guy that wouldn't. I feel like I'm much more of a people pleaser, where I would probably just go, that's amazing. I've always wanted a hedge trimmer that's got 4 speeds. That's amazing. What an awesome.
What are you talking about, Kev? I'd love a hedge trimmer.
That's bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think I would have to fake it. I can't even imagine saying, what the hell is this shit that you've bought me?
Let's say we've been doing this for a little while. We meet up to celebrate. I said, "Oh, Tez, I've just got you a little present just to show appreciation."
Gonna happen. You're gonna do it. You're gonna buy me a really shit present.
I'm gonna
just to see my face.
I'm gonna buy you a Swarovski crystal.
Was it like a squirrel?
Yeah. Some really shit animal. A seal. A Swarovski seal. Pink Swarovski seal. And you're like, Tez, I've just thought, when I think of you, I think your spirit animal, you're giving off the energy of a seal. And that's why I bought you this present. So what's your reaction?
First of all, what, am I opening it now?
Yeah, you're doing it in front of me, yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing it in front of you. First of all, I would, whatever the gift is, Kev, I would appreciate and be grateful that you had me in your thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. You bought me a seal.
Yeah, no, well, I'm the same, right? So I've got you this seal. You're looking at it, but you've mentioned that you would be really appreciative of the fact that someone's thought of you, and
yeah, I would. I think I would be really appreciative of the fact that you bothered to give me a gift.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I think that's first and foremost. I think when it comes from that place, that's okay. That's okay.
Absolutely.
That's okay.
You might not do anything with it, but you'll always remember Kev bought me that really.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. If you got me a 3-pack of Joe's barbecue sauce from the range,
yes.
Now that'd be a bit weird.
Yeah, because no thought.
Exactly.
No
so
thought.
It's the thought that counts.
Yes, exactly.
It's a thought that counts. So are you the camp where you don't open up the present?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's my behavioral instinct is to not open up in front of the gift giver. But I have done it the other way as well. But yeah, so that's 4-1, isn't it? Because we are leaning towards being more Asian again.
So was that 4-1?
Yeah.
4-1. Ah, yeah, it is 4-1. So the one being living arrangements.
That's right. Yeah, the one.
Okay.
All right.
What's the next one?
This one's a big one, and this one is something that happens a lot. All right. So you're at an all-you-can-eat buffet. And there's a queue.
Right.
There's a queue. Is your instinct to fuck the queue, mate? I'm hungry. I'm just going to jump this queue, and I'm just.
That's definitely Chinese Asian. Definitely Chinese Asian.
100%. Like, I'm going to sneak in any little gap I see, and I'm just going to shimmy my body into this gap. And then there's nothing you or anyone else can do about it, because I'm grabbing all the seafood and the expensive food that I get. I don't even care if other people don't have any more to eat. So long as my tummy's fed and I'm okay and my family's okay, that's what I care about. And you've seen it, I've seen it, and it does happen. Culturally, now you can't blame them. It happens in their culture, right? That's the thing that happens. So are they rude? No, because that's what they see as acceptable in the way that they behave day to day.
What first come, first serve. Like
Absolutely.
you snooze, you snooze, you lose.
Snooze, you lose. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what do you do? Oh
no, I'm a queuer, mate.
Me
I'm
too.
a queuer. I'm a queuer. I mean, a lot of people might say, "Oh, you absolute loser." You know what I mean? But I'm a queuer. I know some people of the queue, like friends, who have said, "Hey, quick, let's go here," like that, and I'm like, I just queue like that, and they look at me and think, "Oh, you fucking loser."
Yeah, and I'm quite similar. My mum was, I think that a little bit is my mum's doing. You will see this behavior. She has always told me that, but don't be one of them, because in this country where you're raised and you're brought up, you're supposed to queue. So, and she's told me that. So I guess from a very early age, I was taught to pay respect to the order of a queue, and I have done.
Yeah, I agree. I think my wife, actually, she's not a queue jumper, but she is always in front of the queue. She's at the front of every queue. Any queue that you can ever think. The school gates, we're on a holiday, we're getting on a plane, coach, or whatever, or a train, or whatever, or checking in. We will always guarantee you, we will always be the first ones there. Always.
Is that organization, or is it the fact that she wants to be first? That's a great asset. She
is like the annoying kind of efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah. She is like drill sergeant. We are, come on, let's go. We want to be the first ones in the queue, and we have to be there. We have to be the first people in the queue. And quite often I record this video. If we're going on holiday, for example, I might do it this time we're going on holiday. Yeah. If we're going you can guarantee that she's racing ahead, and I'm quite fast and efficient as well, but she's just it's almost like too fast. And I always replay this when I'm recording it, and I put it on hyperlapse, and I always play this tune over it, and it's comical, and Natasha loves it. She finds it so funny because she's always at the front, and she's like, we'll go to Trafford Centre, and Jan's at the other end of Trafford Centre. We've not even started.
Wow.
Yeah, she's fast. She's fast.
Carbon she's similar. She if we're getting on a flight, she will be one of the first there. Okay, we need to be there 4 hours before. Yeah. Why? Because check-in doesn't open till an hour and a half before. So what's the need to be there early? We just need to be prepared and understand where the gates are, what times to move around and stuff like that. So that is just hyper organization. In fact, it's inefficient for you to be doing that because there's lots of hours where we could be doing something else. Yeah. But she's also one that likes to be early and likes to be at the front of the queue, etc. I don't think she's quite to Jan's standard. Jan sounds intense to where she wants to be first. She needs to be first.
Like, yeah, it annoys her. Sometimes when it's my turn to do the school run, I'll do the school run, and she'll be texting me and saying, "Where are you in the queue?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm still sat in the car. It's raining outside. She said, "You're not in the queue." And I said,
"What's the need, though? Because
she's not even in it. She's not even in it."
And then that's badness. That's absolute madness.
She gets mad at me for not being the first in the queue when I'm doing the school run.
Yeah, exactly. Even though, I always say that. Like when people get up, when they hear their boarding call, and they're like, "Rows F to J are now boarding," and then everyone just shoots up straight away. I'm sat there, and I'm like, we're all going to get on the same plane. The only thing that's different, the only thing is you might miss out on a little bit of space in the overhead locker. That's it. That's the only thing. Yeah, they're not going to leave without you. You're kind of already there. So
you queue. You're a queuer.
100%. I'm a queuer. Yeah. So that's 4-2 now. So there's a fight back. There's a fight back for the western side of us.
Cool.
For sure.
I tell you what sometimes annoys me when I'm in Hong Kong. Is maybe because it's a much smaller place. There's a lot more people in the same space, and that is people in your face.
Oh yeah. Personal space. So in the UK, generally in the UK, now there is an exception to this, and I'll come on to the exception. Generally, people will give you space. They'll be, "Oh, sorry, I'm getting too close," or they'll keep a distance. Right? In Hong Kong, it's not uncommon for someone to brush their body right up against you.
I hate that.
So nose right past you. And it's not the coolest of climates. So quite often the limb that you come into contact with.
Oh, that's gross, man.
Limb. Yeah, exactly. That sort of thing. So yeah, personal space is a definite big one because I think it's respected more in the UK, apart from the exception. And that exception is London. Now, I've worked and lived in London for a while. And that place is just as invasive of personal space
as Hong Kong.
As Hong Kong. Exactly the same. But I think it's people density. Exactly. There's no choice but to be that close to someone else. And I think that's the same in Hong Kong. But in terms of how Western and Asian are we, do you respect people's personal space? Do you personally respect people?
I think when you mentioned London, actually, you're probably right in London. When you're in the tube, there is a bit of touching.
Yeah, it's completely allowed, isn't it? It's weird and it's not nice, but it's allowed.
Yeah, I'm definitely a personal space guy. I don't like anyone that's too close to me. I like
Yeah.
that. People like when you've been out on a night out and you're in a club
Yeah.
and you might see someone, you bump into someone and it's just a guy and it becomes friendly and he's a bit of drink. He's had a bit of drink and he leans into you and you
Oh,
can
mate.
smell his
Oh,
and then he's just being friendly, right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
leaning into you and his breath and his bodily sweats
and these,
hitting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real, I'm a real personal space kind of guy.
Yeah, me too.
I can't stand it when people stand too close.
Yeah, exactly. And that club thing or that bar thing is definitely a pet hate of mine as well. I'm sure I've done it to people. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I've been drunk. Yeah, I can get quite like arm around people, use them as a prop to stand up because I can no longer stand up myself. That kind of drunk. So yeah, I'm sure I've done it as well. But if I'm sober and it's happening to me, it just feels like an invasion of personal space, doesn't it? For sure.
It's a politeness thing as well.
Yeah.
Because I think in England, there is that etiquette of giving people personal space and also not. I think there's an etiquette in England where you just don't get in people's faces.
Absolutely. Yeah. It feels almost aggressive, doesn't it? It feels uncouth, at very least, uncultured, a little bit rude, and at worst, a little bit aggressive to be in that close to someone's space. It does. It's not nice. So yeah, I absolutely am a fan of keeping personal space. And we've touched on the next point actually, which is etiquette. So you walk through a door, there's someone fairly close behind you. Are you consciously waiting to open that door for the person behind you? And if you are, do you also expect them to say thank you for you opening the door for them?
100%. 100%.
Have you ever done it in Hong Kong for people?
Yeah, it's just an absolute fucking waste of time in Hong Kong.
Right. So you open, so you're walking through a door, you hold it open for the person that's fairly close to you, there's a stranger. They're looking at you as if you're some sort of psycho because it's like, why did you waste your precious seconds opening this door for me? Because I don't know you. And now what do you expect me to do? Do you expect me to walk close to you? Do you want some appreciation for the fact that you open the door for me? They don't understand why you're doing it. Most of the time, they think you're some sort of weirdo for keeping the door open.
I think it's just a manners thing, right? An etiquette that I think in England, generally speaking, English people are just over polite.
Yeah, definitely. Even if you compare that to Americans, we are way polite, aren't we? We've just got a culture of being generally nice to people.
Yeah, we would never. The whole door holding thing is a strange one because in Hong Kong, it's almost what you just said now. It's almost normal to be rude. It's more normal to be rude than to be well mannered.
100%.
Bad is that, man?
100%, mate. We were back there in March, and when you're using the little octopus cards to go through the barriers on the trains and stuff.
Yeah.
So I took maybe a split second longer to get the octopus card out of my pocket to then press it onto the receiver. This woman just found this half-second gap and pushed herself right in front of me.
Oh my God.
I said, "Excuse me, what you doing?" Sort of thing in Cantonese, and she's like, "Oh, you took too long getting your card out." And I was like, "But you've now pushed your body right up against mine," and it just made a very awkward situation. She's like, "You should have been faster." I said, "You should be less rude." And there was this standoff for a little
weird.
while.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing to have a problem with that someone took a split second. It's not like you were stood there fumbling.
No,
literally.
Yeah, it was literally a split second, and to her that was fine. Maybe she would probably expect if she took a half second longer for someone else to do that to her as well, and to them,
and that's all right.
Yeah, okay. And that's a culture clash, isn't it? That's a massive culture clash.
It's a weird thing for me though. That's a weird thing. The whole the etiquette of just manners, holding the door for someone, saying thank you if someone does it to you, things like that. I was over here. I'm not going to bash, but over here I was in Costa. No, I was going to Costa, and Jamie needed a wee, and so I had to. And it was just far easier just to pick him up, carry him, and he's not a pick up, carry up size anymore. He's pretty big now. Yeah. So, but it was just we were in a retail park, and it was a Costa, and I had to take him to the toilet, so I picked him up really quickly just to get there quicker. So I got there to Costa, and it's a glass door, and there was a person from Hong Kong, because you can just tell, And he was in front of me, and he opened the door, and he saw me in the reflection.
Yeah.
And then he opened the door. Not only did he not keep the door open, he opened the door and closed it behind him. And I was okay about it. I was just in a rush. So I opened the door. Even the old English granny that was watching this whole thing from inside looked and went,
yeah, that you get that a lot, don't you? You get the whole sympathetic, that was not the ways to behave from other people, right? Yeah, definitely.
that was, yeah. So anyway, I am definitely a holding door etiquette, manners type person.
I think that encompasses a lot: etiquette, manners, and that also filters down to driving. I don't know if you've ever driven in Hong Kong. I have.
I've never driven in Hong Kong. Are they driving the left or the right?
It's the same side as us. It's the same side as us. So everything's fine there from a side perspective, but it's the manners. So over here, if you see a gap and you see someone coming out, you're like, I'll let you go first. None of that.
Yeah.
So the walking behavior is exactly the same as their driving behavior. Any gap, we'll jam in there. We don't care if we cause the queue or whatever. But that's absolutely the culture there. But I'm quite happy that we're both. I think it's 4-3 now in the favor of, still in the favor of being more Asian. But like I said, the Western side is fighting back.
Fine. This one will be the decider, because this is a big one. And that is, we talked about this in a previous episode, but money. Yeah.
Money is taboo in Western discussion, in Western conversation. I don't think there's any situation where you ask someone, how much are you paid? Regardless of how close you are as friends, right? Where that wouldn't come across as slightly invasive as a question. It's, oh, okay, I know we're close. There's a reason why you're asking, but I don't feel comfortable sharing this information straight away. It's not an open conversation.
It's a really taboo topic, isn't it? It's almost like crass to talk about money. It's almost crass to say, we talked about it last time, but like telling people how much stuff was that you bought, telling people, or even asking people how much they earn. It's like a really weird, horrible, classy thing to ask, right?
I think so. And it leads the conversation down into places where you don't really want to go. Like, you're going to spend the next half an hour comparing knob sizes because you're like,
that's what I mean. Exactly.
It gets into that territory, doesn't it? Really. And it's not a great place to be with your friends. And I think that's been learned through many years of conversation. Whereas in Chinese culture, it's absolutely okay to have that conversation and that comparison. Absolutely okay to have a money conversation in comparison with someone else. There's only going to be one winner and one loser in those conversations. And that's what the person that's making more money and the person that's making less money, right? So they're not good conversations to have. Yeah. They never have been. I've had a few conversations like that before, and they never lead to a place where everyone's feeling happy at the end.
No. So it almost leaves a bit of stress, and at the end of that actually there's a bit of anxiety between everyone that actually, why did he ask me that question? And he only asked me because he's earning more, or he only asked me because she's earning more than him, and that type of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that definitely is. So it's a horrible thing to ask. It's no money for me. Is I don't like talking about it. I think it's a bit crass. I'm not showing people. I don't like telling people how much. If people ask me how much stuff costs, it's just a weird question.
No, why? What does that change, knowing that fact of how much stuff costs?
Yeah.
But it's okay for in Asian culture to do that, certainly. So I think we are saying that money being taboo is, if money is a taboo subject, then that's Western. If it's not a taboo subject.
I agree. I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you. Money is a taboo subject. Absolutely. What's that put us now?
4-4.
4-4.
Yeah.
So you went far off. You said you were 60-40, but actually, Kev, you are 50-50, and I am 50-50.
And we agreed on all the points as well, mate, which is pretty unheard of.
Yeah, 50-50. So you're 50% white and 50%
Western.
Sorry, Western.
50% West. So I'm 50% West and 50% Asian culturally, and that. As we both are, which is good, I'll take that. I'm quite happy.
Do you think your kids, here's the final question, do you think your kids will be?
That's a great question. So let's run through quickly. Will my kids ever be wearing their shoes indoors? Nope. 100% not.
Yeah.
Will they be always showering at night? I think so, because they already do that. So I think I've already started that culture for them.
Yeah.
Will they ever call me Kevin? Hell no.
No.
Yeah,
Can you imagine?
That's never happening. Would I hope that they would find it okay if I got elderly to live with me? Yeah, but I don't mind them moving out either. So I'm going to give that to the one to the Western side.
Yeah.
Gift giving. I don't mind if they open gifts or not open gifts in front of people. So that one, I don't really care about. I don't know if
So I don't really care either, to be fair,
Yeah.
what they do with the gifts. I suspect I'd like them to be a little bit more classy about it rather than
Yes,
that
yes.
type of thing.
respectful.
All right. Yeah.
Queuing.
Okay.
I would hope that they hold manners and queue and respect the queue. And there's no reason for them not to, because they haven't grown up in Hong Kong or China. So they
That's
would
true.
hopefully respect the queue. And personal space, yeah, I don't want them brushing up on people and start spitting on them when they're drunk, etc. Driving etiquette. Driving etiquette, I hope they respect that.
Hard to say right at the moment because my kids are like, they might drive like idiots, my kids.
Yeah, we don't know. There might be a time when they're in their 20s when they think racing around, in, much like I'd probably when I was doing a Civic Type R, was a great way to drive. And taboos of money, I would hope that they would know and learn, and I will teach them that money can only lead to bad conversations. So I would think we are distilling in them what we know now.
Yeah, I agree. I think our kids will be very copies. They'll be copies of us.
Yes, exactly.
It sounds like that. It sounds like good. We have determined today, Kev, that we are 50-50 Western and 50% Western, 50% Chinese.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll take that. I initially thought I was 60-40 leaning towards the Western side.
That is the that's the final. What do you think? What do you think our mates would be?
Ooh.
Generally, the people that you hang around with the most.
I would say of the BBC friends, I would say that most of them would fit our mold. Most of them would fit our mold and go straight down the middle.
I'm going to ask them. And next time I see them, I'm going to ask them these same questions.
Yeah, they should.
Good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let's do it. Then we'll bring it all back and chat about it.
That's good. Kev, great talking to you, man.
Been a pleasure. Yeah, we'll catch up.
Catch up.
Week.
Have a good weekend, mate.
And you.
See you in a bit.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.